To say goodbye to California. The failures of their far-left governor, Gavin Newsom, are now in full focus because resurfaced video from 2008, while Newsom was then the San Francisco mayor, it shows him bragging and boasting about his great 10-year plan to fix homelessness in the city of San Francisco. But as we have shown you time and time again, well, the homeless problem has only gotten worse. It has spiraled way out of control. It's worse than ever. By the way, full credit to Dave Rubin for putting a lot of this together and posting it because it's well done. Take a look.
We believe fundamentally that food solves hunger, that shelters solve sleep, and that housing solves homelessness. And if we're going to solve the problem of those that are out on the streets that we define as homeless, we better solve the housing problem if we're going to have an impact. And that's why we established this framework, what we call a 10-year plan to end chronic homeless in San Francisco.
10-year plan to end that? It's only gotten worse. So with Gavin Newsom in charge, whether as mayor or governor, quality of life in San Francisco, frankly, all across the state, has only gotten worse. Crime is up, costs are up, quality of life way down. Before Gavin measures those drapes in the Oval Office, which he definitely is doing, he should clean up California first. And meanwhile, all those limousine liberals who claim to be so compassionate and want a more equal society, they don't seem to want to be anywhere near where the problem is. Take a look at this. A new report says that the Trump-hating, Biden-supporting NBA superstar, he's a great player, Steph Curry, is now moving to block low-income housing that was going to be built near his mansion in Northern California. Some estimates have it at $30 million. In a statement to Atherton, California officials, Curry and his wife wrote, quote, "We hesitate to add to the not in our backyard rhetoric, but we wanted to send a note before today's meeting. Safety and privacy for us and our kids continues to be our top priority and one of the biggest reasons we chose Atherton as home." So when the far-left housing agenda comes to their backyard, all of a sudden, they're not so liberal anymore. Just like liberals are only generous with your money, not their own money. Anyway, here with reaction, author of Drawing the Lines, Red State editor, Kyra Davis is with us, Fox News contributor Leo 2.0 Terrell. Ms. Davis, welcome to the program. Good to see you. You're on with the rock star Leo 2.0 Terrell. So it's do as I say and clean the environment. That was Davos in Switzerland with 1,000 private jets, but we can't eat meat ourselves. And, you know, here you have Steph Curry, who I think is a great ball player, one of the best actually ever, but he not in my backyard. I'm a liberal, but nowhere near. I don't want the people that I'm showing compassion for to live in where I live. What's that all about?
Yeah, well, it's always about you, right? It's never about them. I mean, they want to come for your gas stoves, not their gas stoves. They want you to stay home from visiting grandma. They don't mean they're going to stop flying around on their private jets. They're very important people. They don't mean that they're going to eat bugs. You're the one that's supposed to eat bugs. It's always really easy to tell other people what to do. That's why it's so easy to be a liberal. I loved being a liberal. I kind of wish I could go back because you know what? Ignorance is bliss. Unfortunately, my eyes have been open, and now I have to live the way the rest of us live as a part of team reality. They live in team fantasy land, and they can afford to live in that fantasy land while blaming the rest of us for all of America's ailments.
You know, Leo, I just love this. Not in my backyard, and do as I say and not as I do. That sums up liberal hypocrisy to the T.
Yeah, and it's also embarrassing for Steph Curry. You know what? He didn't visit Trump because he said Trump had a problem with people from different backgrounds and different walks of life. He's a person of color, and he's basically saying, I don't want you people in my backyard. And you know, every city in California has to have affordable housing. But see, he lives in the Martha Vineyard of California, so he's special, and it's insulting. People who watch him play basketball, and he's a good basketball player, $300-400 to watch him play. It's okay for them to watch him play, but not to eat at the same restaurant, not to have their kids go to the school, and not to rely on good law enforcement. It's an outright embarrassment, and it's hypocritical. But that's how Democrats roll. They're elitists, and they do not care about the everyday average American.
You know, I think you're right for all the right reasons. Kyra, let me ask you this. You know, Nancy Pelosi's house is on one side of where the homelessness has its greatest problem, an open-air drug market. 2 miles in one direction is her house, a gated community with multi-millionaires living there that happen to have great timing with the stock market like she and her family does. And then the 2 miles to the other side of this area where people are shooting up in the street, defecating in the street, and we've sent our cameras there, we've gotten it all on tape, is her office. And why doesn't Nancy Pelosi, why don't liberals put their money where their mouth is? In other words, Nancy Pelosi's really wealthy. Why doesn't she lead the community and say, I'm gonna give $1 million. Go to every neighbor, see how much they can give. Why don't they build a shelter for compassion and offer up, I don't know, maybe 2 meals a day, a place where people can shower, maybe they can get drug counseling if they need it. Why don't they do that?
Well, what would that solve, Sean? It might solve homelessness, but then it won't solve the next election. You know, they're always running for re-election. If you solve a problem, you can't run on those problems anymore.
Yeah. All right. Amazing. What hypocrisy. Thank you both. Appreciate it. All right. When we come back.